right? So just for as a comparison, if you see the Japanese technology and German capacity 400 tons per day, I put there. They say minimum they want 700 tons, but 700 tons is actually not a lot. Manjung already 300. Just only town, only one town. You know how much is the total garbage this thing in Malaysia per day? 22 to 25,000 tons per day. We are talking about 22 to 25,000 per day, you know. Now the process I'm just showing for 300 only. Okay, how profitable? You see, the project cost is only 40 million, this one to process. That one is 500 million. So these are the issues, you know, right? It's happening in Malaysia again. Why the government sign, you know, such a big amount, 500, almost half a B for waste management and things like that is going on. And then what happened in Pasir Gudang? All these are now people are talking about a proper waste management. Because otherwise, you see, it will be very hazardous. There are other techniques that I will also talk with you. Yeah. So you see, to give you an example, we have 300 tons per day, just Manjung. The Malaysian data shows about 33% to 75% of the MSW can be actually recycled. So if you can recycle, you take out the things first, recyclable items first, before pushing it into this process. Right? So 1/3, 33, I'm just taking the lowest amount, the 33%. So if I take the 300 tons, the lowest is about 1/3 of it is recyclable, so 100 tons are already out. So 200 tons, we push it into this process on average. Yeah. So 200 tons, we push it into this hydrothermal process. The average amount from the recyclable items for per ton, in the Malaysian case, is 245 ringgit per ton. Once you recycle items from each ton, you can get 245. So 245 multiplied by 365 days, I put 300, you can get about 8.9 million from the recyclable items on the daily basis, but it's annual amount. And from this process, for 200 tons, you get 190 ringgit per ton. How do I get the 190? It is because, each ton can produce 500 kilowatt per hour, and TNB will buy at 38 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's 190. So from the comparison per ton basis, you can tell it's always good. What can be recycled, you move first because it will give you more. Because if that one is lower, means might well everything go into this process. Correct or not? So you take out the a certain amount of that, and then you multiply. So you can get 13 million. Imagine from Manjung alone per annum, you can get about 21 million or 22 million already. The revenue from the this is only Manjung. Imagine for the entire Malaysia, 25,000 tons per day. And the 25,000 tons per day is actually 2012 punya data. 5 years ago or 7 years ago punya data. Which I went over, from the ministry punya database. So you get an idea. To me, it's a highly profitable venture. For a small few million you put inside for the only about 20 million, but you can get back within a year. Now I want to tell you a story. So in other words, separation at source, the 1/3, a good methodology of waste management is that we do separation at source, so that you don't bring it here and then you start sorting. So at the household itself, ask them to sort, and then bring it to the and you pay them a little bit for doing the job. So the households, the children, they enjoy a bit. So you do separation at source and give them, share the revenue from the 245. So it comes out automatically sorted ready for you. And then you only process the unsorted garbage. So you can institute separation at source through keep-on method. In Manjung, there's one company is doing. You register with them, then they give you a number, an ID, and then they have a post where you can go and deposit your garbage, recyclable items lah. So you just put in a package, a plastic, all your garbage, stick this thing, and just go and dump it there. And they know the garbage is from you because your sticker is there. Then they will see how much they will sort out, and then automatically they will credit to your bank account. Yeah, yeah, commercialized. So this is separation at source. Easier doing like that. So you see but I want to tell you a story about Kurishiba. Have you heard about this place? So if you were in my class before, you must say yes. How come you're saying no? Maybe you forgot. Okay. Maybe I. Okay, Curitiba is a town in Brazil. Somewhere there you see the Brazil near Sao Paulo. It used to be a Stingan area. Stingan, Kawasan Stingan, slum area. So the poor people used to live there and then they go to work from there. Take a bus, go to work only, and then they have a lot of drinking problem, social problem. Minum. So this man became mayor. He was an architect. So you want to see how to change this place, the people's attitude, everything, all garbage everywhere, garbage on the streets. Macam dulu, kampung kita dulu lah, It used to be a lot of garbage then here, we just go and dump in one place, right? So what he did, he invested in recycling plant. Then he said, people separate at source. You bring in, okay, if you bring so much of metal, you get so much of coupon and so on. The coupons, you can only use it for taking bus ride. Now you remember the story? For taking bus ride. To go to work. Why he doesn't give them money? Because you give them money, they'll drink. You give them extra money, they will drink. So he said, okay, make them productive, give them coupon. So the coupons you can use for taking bus ride. Then for children, you knew, okay, if you want to improve the place, education is paramount. So he told the children also, you bring certain amount of garbage, you collect by the roadside, aluminium metals, you bring, he will give you a different colored coupon. So that coupon you can use for buying only books, stationery, color pencil, and so on. You can go and exchange them at bookstores. So the children go and collect everything by the roadside, all clean up, and they go and claim their books and color pencils. Then he saw the city all old and the buildings were not properly in. So when anybody asked, developer asked for concession, okay, I want to build 1 story higher, whatever. So he asked them to buy a similar coupon that can be only used for repainting building, just like the other one for books, the other one for bus ride and so on. So slowly you see the city becoming beautiful. Yeah. And then always used to flood. So what he did, the flooding areas, he connected all the flooding areas through tunnel, just connected the flooding areas. So they all become a huge eco park. So dari kalau hujan di sana, the water will go to every other place also, not only in that area. See? So it goes the entire area, therefore it doesn't flood after that. Then he doesn't send people to go and cut the grass with all the machines and this thing and spoil any. So what he did? He put deers, rusa, put there. So the deers nicely eat, and then you see the deers grazing, a nice view. Rather than you see someone wearing their mask and, cutting the grass, right? So by doing like that, he converted the entire Curitiba into a beautiful city like Singapore within 1 generation. From the idea is all through coupon and innovative monetary system. This guy, So now it is, if you go to Curitiba and Google it, even the public transportation and the entire urbanization, it is actually is a gold standard model now. So people throughout the world, they go and copy them how they're doing it. Even for public transportation. He solved the entire public transportation. We use MRT, but he took the middle 2 lanes of the road. The middle 2 lanes, he says, only for the bus. And then with a beautiful bus stops, all circular bus stops like you see in Indonesia. You go inside, it's all circular, covered from the rain and everything. But when the bus arrives, the entire door will open, big, so that exchange will be very fast. People can come out east and people can go in fast. So he used the middle 2 lanes for that. Therefore, he did the entire like MRT at a fraction of a cost. Okay? So you can look at it, this thing. You see? Now it is 50 meters squared for greenery per capita. For every person, there's 50 meters squared of greenery in the entire city. So it is from separation at source. But there are also other waste management techniques. If you see, I only showed you with the when I was looking at the solutions. There are a few others came about. It's something called pyrogasification. There's also plasma gasification like that. But this method, they put a high temperature, but they extract the oxygen from the place. There's no oxygen. Bila tak ada oxygen, it won't burn. So put under high temperature and heat and break down into the chemical elements. Benda tu semua akan break into this chemical element. So mostly it will burn into hydrogen, carbon and oxygen because carbon this thing. So the hydrogen, oxygen becomes you can use it for burning and energy. The carbon will become the ash. So you will collect the ash and gas. So you get two products, which is basically syngas or gas and ashes. So it is completely break down the entire thing. So one professor in Cranfield University from UK, he told me, the gas, they can use it for any, but the interesting part is what he does with the ash. You know what, he's got a new technique, he says. The plant is just like the size of our, size of our container. You know the container? Just the size of a container. It can transform the ash, the carbon, into graphene. You know graphene? Graphene is not like graphite. It joins the latest material. This is graphene. You all know that. It's very light and very strong. So in the future, your aeroplanes, your laptops, all will be made from graphene. It will be very light, but very strong. It's called graphene. So they can convert the carbon into graphene sheets. So you see, so there's a lot. What we are trying to say is that waste, if it's properly managed, put into the cycle, it becomes highly profitable. So if you ask me, of all, which one will be the most profitable if you can produce graphene? Now you can check the price of graphene per kilogram and see it's very, very high. Because future aeroplanes all will be built. So this is just to compare. If you are later, if you wish to compare, this is from the this technique. That for 110,000 tons per year, it will give you the so much of waste. How much will become gas and how much of electricity that you can get and so on. Yeah. All right. So now many countries we are now talking about going to zero waste, isn't it? So what is zero waste? Basically, you see those are the ones lah. First is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So sometimes people will be when they pick up the thing, they put 3R, right? So what is the 3R? Is this 3R lah? First is reduce. That means reduce the waste, anything. So in Iceland and other places, for example, your toothpaste. Today you buy toothpaste, you go to the supermarket, they are the box, cardboard box, they may cut first, cardboard box, right? Inside, they only have the tube. They say, what for you need the box? The moment you buy, immediately you throw away. It doesn't really serve any purpose. So they're telling not to. Manufacturers, you should not have that. Only directly sell the tube with the honey. That kind of thing. You go for reduce. And also reduce the use of, anyway you can reduce it. And items you can reuse. So instead of paper cups, untuk minum atau apa ini, we use glass. Wash it and use it again. Right? Instead of plastic and this thing. So instead of paper towels, use cloth. If you use paper towels and tissues, you will then throw, right, isn't it? But if you use a cloth, you'll wash it and use again, right? So that kind of thing, reuse. The last is recycle. Right? Setuju? Okay. So what is the organic components, all the organic components in this technique, you go into compost. So even people do not have land, they have their own, bin for compost bin. Put inside and then let the thing compost, then you can use it for fertilizer. So nothing goes in it, it's like nature. See nature, how it gives you your peanut. Then you makan the kacang, the thing goes straight, recycle. Correct or not? So same technique here. We will make sure that it goes back into the cycle by the way nature has intended. The whole problem is created by man, Correct or not? Because of the process, particularly in plastic. So follow how resources are reused in nature, reduce and create no solid waste, by reducing as much as possible, and then compost organic waste. So from the solid waste, anything to be recycled, you recycle. So most countries they've gone to this way, like Western countries, particularly in Europe, about more than 50% of the waste is now recycled. Like Kurishima is 70% is recycled. So this is the target we can see. For example, Sweden has also waste to energy program, so efficient, so they can actually import waste from other countries already. So they import from waste from other countries and then they take the energy out of it. But the good thing is they don't pay for the import. They make the country to pay them. It's like tipping fee. Or you want to supply, send your garbage there, you got to pay us like that. So they get bonus. Tipping fee, now is a bonus, and then they get electricity and all this output free. So you see, it has become a business, yeah. And green financing is in the United Nations now. They are pushing countries, governments, organizations, NGOs to actually give financing for this kind of. If you go to World Bank and others, they have special money for not only for waste management but solar energy and all those green energy techniques. They are having financing for them. So governments must allocate this kind of thing and make this kind of processes more used and preferred. So this is what we need, green financing. Simply the name. Name is basically the financing for green initiatives, right? So I would say, what our UIA department should do. We must have some experts in economics, in environmental and waste management economists. In University of Malaya, they have professors just focusing on this waste management, and they do a lot of research on that. And we, let's say, with finance department, come up with innovative financing techniques for this kind of green financing. So you can do a synergy